Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Happy late birthday if it's in the past. Happy future birthday if it's in the future. My name is Lime Green, and welcome back to the Out of Time podcast. Podcast where I have run out of time to play super famous, super cool games that you have all voted for, like Ocarina of Time, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Mega Man Battle Network. And I'm playing them all for the first time ever in my entire life. But in this case, it's Majora's Mask. Last time, we did the Great Bay Temple, and it wasn't too bad, I guess. But I also talked about last episode that we're gonna be going around, like, cleaning up, I guess, some of the stuff we missed. There's a lot of, I guess, side content in this game. I didn't think it would be as big of a game as what it is. But I guess Majora's Mask is like all about the side content. You know, if you go in Clock Town, there's only 4 different ways you can go. You know, north, south, east, west. So we've already gone 3 of the different paths. So I feel like once we go the last way, I feel like that's the Ganondorf's castle type deal. Like that's the path of no return. I'm not sure, but that's the impression I'm getting. So I feel like we kind of need to do everything else. So that's why I went back to Woodfall, and I started doing all the little fairies, because I've never done the little fairy collection mission thing. I had the, I guess, Don Garo mask, that's what it's called, and I collected the one frog in the Woodfall temple, and he said he'll meet me later, I guess. And when you get all the Woodfall fairies, and then you get them out of there, and you take them to the Woodfall Temple Great Fairy, you get double magic. Like crazy. If I knew about that, I would have done that sooner. So already I was like stoked. I was like, alright, let's go on to the next one, Snowhead. And I'm like, what magical things are we gonna get at Snowhead? So I ran in there. Also, Snowhead, I wasn't, like, super pumped about revisiting all these places. Just at the fact of going through them and trying to find little fairies again. But I guess the act of getting something cool and new, you know, really motivated me. Especially the double magic. It was like, whoa. The one fairy is like hidden in a wall. That was the craziest fairy ever in my life. The way the video told me to get it was to jump in like the little flower and to jump out and to hover down with Deku Link, but I jumped off the edge because what was it? I think I'd like run out of magic or something. Some situation I was in. I just took a wild jump and I somehow landed through the wall And on that platform, just a wild jump got me at the exact platform I was at. That was the best jump of my life. So after all that, you get a powered up spin attack. Not the best reward, I'll say. It's like, alright. After that, you're going to be raffle-coptering after you hear this. I was like, okay. You know, that took a while. Let's go back to clock down and deposit the rupees and then reset the day. So, because that's how I am. I always have to reset the 3-hour day, because that's how paranoid I am. So I go back to clock down, and then I'm depositing the rupees, and then I look at the 3DS, and the 3DS is flashing, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then and then it powered off, and then I got sad, and then I realized I did not save up until I was entering Snowhead. So I had to redo all of Snowhead again. And I was really angry at that point. That is my entire Snowhead story. There's another fairy that was kind of like awkward. There's like a fairy in the one snow room. It's like a big room of snow. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. And there's like snow golems. I got tripped up by that fairy. Because he's like buried in snow. They have the Great Fairy Mask, which like attracts fairies towards you. They need like a sensor or something. Oh, and there's that one fairy in the ceiling, and you can only see it with the lens of truth, and you need to shoot it with a bow, and then you need to put on the Great Fairy Mask, and then it pulls it towards you. There's a lot of weird things in Snowhead. So then you go to Great Bay Temple, right where I just was, and I said it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Is that the right term? I don't know. I feel like I got around a lot better than the first time, but you just get defense up. I feel like that's a lot lamer. So I was like, alright. So then... Also, it's kind of weird how you get all the fairies, and then you need to find the Great Fairy, like, place. Like, what if you got all the fairies, and then the moon came down? It's like, you're out of luck, buddy. Out of luck, bucko. So then I was like, alright, well, what else do I do? I have all these, like, missions in my mission log or whatever. I can start knocking these out. So I went and I did the biggest, or the bomb business mission, and I got the biggest bomb bag. I'm not really I'm not really sure how helpful that's going to be, but now I have a really big bomb bag. Try saying that 3 times fast. There's the Zora Swan Song mission, which I'll say really truthfully and honestly, I had to look up, because I still don't know what you're supposed to do. Because first of all, you had to go to a notebook. I didn't see the notebook, so that's just my bad. And then you go to the guy, and he's like, "All right, let's play the notes." And then you play notes, but it's not the notes from the notebook. And it's like a weird scene. I don't know. Explain what you're supposed to be doing in the Zora Swan Song mission. So then I went. That was like all the missions I had. So then there was I don't think I wrote it down, but yeah, I was trying to do the one mission where the Deku scrub, you exchange the deeds or whatever, and I got pretty far, but apparently you need to get even farther in the game to like complete the mission even further, or just complete it at all, because you have to like exchange the deed in Clocktown for the one in the swamp, and then the swamp for the one in Zora, and then it just keeps going and going and going, and that was more intensive than I thought. I thought it would just be like a 1-2 deal. After that, I looked up like some of the masks, because I'm like, I only have like 9, if that, masks. Like, what's up with some of these? And then they're like, you can get a cafe mask if you go here. And then like this mother is like, here's a mask, show people in town and try and find my son. So that's what I've been doing now. And then one of the bombers was like, you can get something good if you master the sword at the swordsman school. I'm like, cool. I don't know where the swordsman school is. Oh. I went back to Romani Ranch, which all of that in itself is like a whole thing. You got start at the first day. You got go to the big Goron. You got pay him like 20 rupees. You got get the first you gotta get bomb keg certified or whatever, and then you gotta buy the bomb keg from him, and then powder keg certified is what it's called, and then you get the powder keg, and then you transport back to Milk Road, and then you throw the powder keg down, and then it blows up, and then you get out of there, and then you go, or I went down the road into Romani Range, and then there's this area with the sky and some chickens, and then if you put on, what's it called? It's called like the something. It looks like a chicken mask, and you can like make the chickens dance with you. Then he gives you the bunny hood, which I know the bunny hood does something with the postman. If you erase the postman, I know that from just pop culture osmosis, and I haven't done that yet. There's dog racing here. I'm not sure what you get for dog racing, but I tried it once and lost. I'm not sure how you would even win, or if you need a mask to win, or I don't know. And then the alien invasion. I tried this like a whole bunch of times. I'm trying to figure out how, like, where to begin. Well, first off, some places call the aliens as aliens, and some call them as ghosts. They are inspired. Well, they don't even have names. They're called them. By the Flatwoods Monster, who appeared in 1952 in West Virginia. Yeah, a little bit of trivia for you. When a bright light appeared in one day in 1952 West Virginia, and a creature then passed over the night sky. Some people believe it was a meteor that caused the bright light, and then a barn owl that passed over the sky. So, do you believe that? I don't know. All this talk was just over an owl and a meteor. That's kind of kooky. So the thing that really got my goat to get a little farm animal fun was they really want you to use Epona for, I guess, this mission. So you jump on Epona and you're riding around, and then one of them like attacks the barn, and then like before you know it, Romani's getting taken away, and then you can't do it until like you reset the entire thing, and I get really sad. So some tips I found were you can use, was it like the song of reverse time or whatever, to not even slow down time, but it slows them down as well. Another tip, if you are somehow, for some reason, you're listening to this and haven't beaten this game yet, if you stand on the box, like there's a box right in front of the barn, you can like snipe them from far away, and the bow goes like a long distance. Also, they give you unlimited arrows in training mode, but you have to work with your own arrows for the real thing. I just want to say that's a little nitpick of mine. And the final tip that I figured out on my own, which is probably the best tip, is the dog helps you out. Now, the dog in Clocktown, that dog's a little meanie. Attacks decooling. But this dog, when you're standing on top of the box, sniping them aliens, the dog will tell you what direction, or who's the closest alien at any given point. So if they're sneaking up behind the barn, you can jump off and then quickly go pew, it it takes a lot longer than you would expect. Especially, what am I trying to say? Especially given the fact that Romani's sister has never seen these aliens. Like, what is she doing throughout the night? Sleeping? Who sleeps throughout the night? And then, when you finally fend them off, I'll say again, this took me at least 3-4 times. You just get a bottle of milk, which does the same thing as Wind Waker's grandma's soup. You know, it's good for 2 times. And, oh, and then I found, but once you do it, you'll be very relieved. And then afterwards, I went and I saved, and I was like, whew, don't have to ever go back to Romani Ranch. And then, I jumped back on like the mask, how to get every mask, and then it's like, alright, after you do the alien invasion, you can get this mask, this mask, this mask. I was like, what the heck? So I quickly went back into Romani Ranch, and I found out you cannot speed up time inside because you need to get Cremia to talk about like going to like the town and I guess going with her to defend her from like what do you call it, like roadside bandits. So you you go with her. This is quite the change of pace. So you get on like a what do you call that? Like a horse and buggy type deal. And she talks about her friend Andrew getting married, and then you gotta sit in the back and fight off like a bunch of people with a bow. And then it's not too hard. It's like a light gun segment or something. I don't know. And then you get to town, and then she gives you Romani's mask. And I'm like, I know what to do with this. Because she says it makes you feel more like an adult. So you gotta go to the bar, and they let you in. But inside the bar, see, this is where I stopped because I'm like, my notes are all filled up. So at the bar, they're like, they sell you 2 different types of milk. So it's like a way for you to buy the bottle of milk from before in like Chateau Romani. I guess more expensive milk, I guess. And then there's a guy in there, and he's like telling you to practice, not practice, like help him with sound testing. This is just me like throwing my thoughts out there. So you stand on stage and you practice your ocarina, and he's like, alright. And then that's it. That's the extent of my bar experience. But I really thought there would be something more with the bar. Like, I had to fight off aliens. I had to fight off bandits. I had to throw... Oh, there goes my notes. I had to throw explosive barrels. All to get into the spar. And to do a sound test that doesn't really get me much of anything. I don't know. It's a work in progress. I'm still trying to work out what's going on in this bar. I don't know. Maybe if I come at different... Well, I can't really come at a different time because it only opens at a specific time. I don't know. I'm still working out. Let me know in the comments down below your process of defending Romani Ranch. Were you able to figure it out on your own? What do you think why do I keep saying them? What do you think them really were? Were they aliens? Were they... what was the other thing I said? Creatures from another... I don't know. Another reality? Or were they like... What if they were Ganondorf's, like, henchmen? That's gonna be my third thing I'm throwing in there. Like, everyone says, like, this is, like, Link is dead. Like, what if Ganondorf just sent them in there to be like, yo, wake up. We're trying to take the Triforce. See? Ganondorf sent him in there to take the Triforce. That's that's my theory. If you take if you take their formation and rearrange it on the ranch, you get the Triforce. I think that's gonna do it for today. Next week, I don't know what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be getting more masks, I guess. I think we're done with fairies. I think it's gonna be a while until we get another temple or something. I don't know. Who knows what we'll be doing. But I hope you join us next week. Until then, see you later.